Hey everyone, welcome to Live with DJ Rossstar. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. And today on the show, I'm going to be talking to Leisure Hour. If you have questions for Leisure Hour, you can post them in the chat below. Now check it out. This show is on every week, twice a week, but the day and the time changes. So make sure you follow me on IG so you can find out who will be on the show next. But I'll tell you, on Monday, 5 p.m. Central Time, really excited to announce I will have on Tim. He's from the band Alistair. He's also in a band called Hot Alice. He'll be on the show. We'll be chatting about what he has coming up in the near future, and we'll be taking your questions like we do every show. So give me a follow. And if you want to watch old interviews, they're all on my IG page, or you can go over to YouTube, search DJ Rossstar, and you can find a lot of old stuff on there. Got interviews with Green Day, with Foo Fighters, got stuff on there from Pierce the Veil, All Time Low, We the Kings, and a whole lot more. So make sure you check that out. But not yet, because you're here to see me interview Leisure Hour, and we're going to be doing that momentarily. But I do want to let you know as well, if you are in a band or you just really like a band and you want to have them on this show, you can send me a DM. I listen to every submission, and if I think it's a good fit, I'll have you on. I've been doing interviews on different platforms online for over 20 years. As I mentioned, I've had people on the show like Katy Perry. I've had Panic at the Disco on the show, Paramore, My Chemical Romance, Coheed and Cambria. The list goes on. And now we're going to add Leisure Hour to the list as soon as we get them in the chat. But in the meantime, if you're watching, thank you for joining. I see that Leisure Hour is here, so we're going to try to get the live going. Let's see if it works, and we're going to go for about 20 to 25 minutes. So if you have questions, please post them in the chat below. Hey there.
Hey, I'm so sorry about that.
It's
I didn't
okay.
know what was going on.
That's the beauty of doing things live. You never know if the internet's going to work or not.
No, I know. I don't know what's been going on with that, but
Well, hey, introduce yourself. You've made it here.
yeah. My name is Reagan. I play drums and I sing, and I write music also in the band, and I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. You probably get this all the time, but Reagan is such a cool name. Is there a story behind why your family named you that?
Yeah, so I um they for some reason my aunt um she actually named 90 like 8% of everyone in my family.
That's so cool.
Um and when my mom's the youngest of seven and I'm her oldest, so they actually wanted to name me Kennedy. But they wanted for some reason they just wanted a presidential name for me. I'm not really quite sure. But they were like Kennedy Nicole. It was gonna be Kennedy Nicole Gordon, and then when I was born, my aunt was like, "Yeah, why not? Why not Reagan Alexis Gordon?" And I was like, "You know what? Whatever."
That's a cool. And you got Rag as your initial. Is pretty cool.
I know. I said y'all didn't really think that through, did you? And I was like, elementary school was rough because of that. So
I was thinking about like in the arcade, if you got like a high score, you'd put in Rag as your name, and people might think you're making a joke.
I know, and I'm like, no, that's just who I am. That's just me.
What was the number one joke in elementary school? What'd you hear?
They just would be well, they'd either call me That's So Reagan. I didn't hate that one. I
That's a
did
good
not
one.
hate that one. That
That's
one was
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Or they'd be like, somebody grab rags, some rags over there. Or like,
Oh
try
no.
to virtue signal me
That
in a
was a little
way.
meaner.
That was a little meaner. I'm like, they're like, you dirty rag. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh.
Come on.
What is your aunt's name?
My aunt's name is Angelia.
Okay, that's an interesting name too.
Yeah, it's Angelia, and she was the second oldest. So everybody after that, once she got older, she pretty much helped name.
Are
So
there any other cool names what names do you find cool in your family besides Reagan?
my mom's name is Shamika. I think that is an awesome name.
Yeah.
And my little sister's name is Alexandria Simone. And I just think it just flows. I was just my aunt. I was like, you just have a really great way of making names just flow off the tongue. I'm like,
Yeah.
Alexandria Simone Gordon is like, I like that is awesome.
So she came up with seven names?
she came up with 20 plus because
Wow.
that would include like all of my cousins and her younger siblings. And then, yeah, all my cousins, her siblings, and then even some of my cousin's kids. So
Wow.
she's, and if I don't have kids, I mean, I have two bonus kids with my girlfriend, but if I ever were, I know she would definitely, she always is like, I'm naming your kid. And I'm like, well, not this go around.
Did she name the band Leisure Hour?
I wish. No, she did not. Grace actually did. And Grace took the name from a word, athleisure. And then leisure hour was kind of, and you know what? I'm going to be so real with you. I don't even know what athleisure means, but
I don't know
uh,
either. That's why I'm nodding to pretend like I know. I have to
yep,
ask
I've had to
ChatGPT.
figure that out. I've had to figure that out
Hey, if
soon.
anyone watching knows the definition, could you say the word again?
Athleisure.
Like athlete, athleisure?
Yes, like athleisure. And then
That can't be a real word. That's a real word?
that is totally a real word. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but leisure hour is an awesome name.
I didn't know that funnily was a word. I had to look that up also.
Yeah, fun. I use that. I'm like, funnily enough. Then so I've used that for sure.
Well, Poisoned Ivy says athleisure is a yoga pants brand. Okay, but that's not the meaning of the word. Someone else, Frank said comfy athletic wear. Maybe that is what it means.
Athletic and leisure. We hey,
Okay.
well,
That
I was gonna say we're not really that athletic, but I mean Grace and I put in some work in marching band for some years. And Isaiah was a baller on the basketball court. I had my heyday back in elementary school, in partially middle school, but my mom kind of sat me down one day and was like, "Look, this isn't gonna happen. You should play the drums." And I was like, "All right, well, I guess I'm playing the."
that's actually I was going to ask you if your parents are cool with this, but I guess they encouraged it. It's great.
Yeah, we are very 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 fortunate to, I think, like in a way all of us are just super determined and driven people. So regardless of if our parents like fucked with it or not, we were going to do it. So it was
Nice.
just in their best interest to kind of be on board anyways. I think like it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, yeah, if we didn't even have that, like people were gonna be we were gonna do it regardless. But it does feel awesome to be able to do this and like really know that our family and friends back at home and just our whole community is just right vibing with us and
Yeah.
like believing in the mission and the goal here,
Are you?
which is
I was going to say, are you the only person in your family that's in a band?
yes, absolutely, yeah, 100%. I'm
Wow.
the only musician in my family.
So when you play a local show, you have to have like 10 guest list spots just for them, huh?
Yeah, literally. I have to. Yeah, nobody plays. And a lot of my family, like live here in Muncie. My little sister recently, Allie, who is Allie Fandria, she recently moved to Arizona. So it's been even cool, like getting to tour across the country and like going to get to see my sister and like
Yeah.
getting to have her see us in Arizona and just new places. My sister is actually she is a very great singer, and we both grew up singing and playing in church and different things like that, but she's not necessarily like pursuing a career in music. It's more just like a fun thing, but we are definitely the black sheep of the family when it comes to like how do these kids get into music
Yeah.
and doing those things. So yeah, it's really fun.
You haven't brought her in for like gang vocals on any of the songs?
No, she'll outshine us.
Well, I guess you can have a guest spot, but she doesn't want to be in the spotlight, huh? I get it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
cool.
I would actually love, love, love to do that in the future with her. She is legitimately the best vocalist I've ever heard in my life. So, and I'm not trying to even gas her up.
No, that's
I
cool.
usually, when I first started singing, because I just recently started singing lead vocals for the band, and
That's huge.
yeah, she was one of the like three or four people that I reached out to that I was like, I need your help with this. I'm very scared. And it's hard stepping into a role like that because I feel like my role beforehand was like I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and obviously I drum too, but like, I drive us on tour and make sure, we're taken care of. That was kind of in social media and stuff. That's kind of my role.
Oh man, you're the
But
manager too.
yeah, but I really wanted to like I felt like there was a part, I don't know, it just was one of those things where I really wanted to start writing music, and I picked up a guitar, and I just have been teaching myself guitar over the past year, and I really like could probably honestly sit here and say I only learned how to play guitar within the last year so that I could write music for Leisure Hour. And I've been playing drums my whole life, but it's been really fun and and cathartic in a way, to like have music be fun and fresh again. Because yeah, I always have fun behind a drum kit, don't get me wrong, but like getting to write these songs and getting to like have the seal of approval and the trust from my bandmates that these are in fact, good songs that
Yeah,
the world needs to hear. It's been really great for my confidence. And I see somebody said I'm killing it. So
yeah.
thank you. That makes me feel good.
Did before you were singing and just playing drums, were you still singing anyway while playing, like just to yourself, out loud?
Yeah, in our older stuff, a lot of like I did a lot of studio singing, I would call myself, like harmonies, and like, hey, every now and then maybe, I'll sing them live every now and then, and I had
Yeah.
a couple of parts, like, a couple lines, but nothing too crazy. Now I'm out here singing whole ass songs,
Now
which
it's
is nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, now I'm singing whole ass songs and playing drums at the same time, which that is crazy. And I have like, if you've ever seen us live, I have, or seen any videos, I have like a wireless Britney mic,
Yeah.
like a headset, and I bedazzled it. And then I have my little over the head headphones, and I'm just kind of rocking like the aviator, the aviator look is what I
How
call
many
it.
like pairs of sticks do you have next to you?
Honestly, probably like two pairs, because
Okay,
one,
so you're risking it if you break both.
if I break both, I'm screwed. But luckily, that does not happen too. That honestly doesn't happen too much because I'm a budget saver, so I'm like, hey, things are expensive. I cannot be breaking $20 pairs of sticks
Yeah, it's
all
like
the time.
that's something they don't sell, unfortunately, at like Dollar Tree. I can't get drumsticks there.
Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, I can't use my smart coupons from the Family Dollar to get, a new pair of drumsticks. My girlfriend laughs at me all the time. I am a couponer. Like, I I will find deals. If I got to buy 6 bottles of Dawn to get $4 off, we just have extra Dawn in the house.
You're doing that the smart way. I do the dangerous thing where I order things online and I use Klarna. I'll just pay it later.
Yep.
And then I look at my Klarna account every so often. I'm like, I owe a lot of money.
I saw Klarna. I saw Klarna and I was like, this is so dangerous. I'm not even going to entertain this for myself.
Oh
I'm
no,
like,
yeah,
I'm Klarna at
they,
McDouble right now. Don't
they,
don't play with me.
they've got Affirm, they've got Afterpay, they've got PayPal paying for. I know them all.
Yeah, I was like, I said the way I will Klarna and Affirm a quarter pounder with cheese just to
Yeah,
pay 56 cents a month. Like,
I wonder, can you when you're on tour and selling merch, can people do that? I wonder if they can buy something. I guess if they're using their card, they can choose to pay later sometimes as an option.
yeah. I guess I never yeah, I never really noticed if somebody would have used Klarna, but hey, I'm use Klarna, use what you got. I don't care. If as long as you get the shirt and you want it, like we're pretty lenient, especially when it comes to merch. Like, it's so much I'd rather all of us, I think I can speak, would rather like the person who really wants the merch to get
Yeah.
it. It's that is way more important than gaining $20 or whatever the case may be.
We are live with Leisure Hour talking to Reagan. If you just tuned in, if you have questions, post them in the chat below. I see people coming in, so hello everybody. You are singing and you're going back and forth, and I don't just mean song to song. You are taking turns singing every song pretty much. Are you just writing your lyrics, and is he just writing his lyrics, or how does that work?
Yeah, like essentially, so for this recent record that just came out, Into Think, all the stuff that yeah, all the songs that I sing lead on is like, yeah, I just wrote everything
Okay.
basically for the most part. And we've now kind of been doing things like we've now kind of been doing more things collectively, where it's like, okay, like Roku City, for example, I wrote that, and it's one of my favorite songs ever. And I had the riff and the instrumentation all together, and then um, I had the first verse down and the chorus, and kind of, but I, for the life of me, cannot come up with the second verse for that song. And I was like, I love everything about this song, but for some reason I can't come up with it. And I was like, and honestly, I kind of think I want to make this a quote unquote like a leisure hour song where we all sing lead on. So we're like literally recording the song in the studio. I'm looking at Isaiah. I'm like, dude, I have nothing for the second verse. Like, I can't come up with any lyrics. I can't, and I don't just want to like write something
Just
just
to
to
write it.
fill the space, because
Yeah.
the whole song was so intentional up until that point. Like, I didn't want to just be not intentional with the lyric in the space, and I was like, hey, can you just cook something for, like, can you just go like take some time while I'm tracking guitars and doing this,
Yeah.
and go write a second verse? And he came back, and everything he added to that was just absolutely perfect. And I was like, I could have sat in my room for months and never would have came up with that. Like, and
Wow.
it was such an awesome moment. And I just respect my bandmates. One of them's in here, Frank. I think Frank's still in here, but yeah, I just respect my bandmates so much, as songwriters. I always have, especially Isaiah, who has been the primary writer of a lot of the songs. And so even just having like his seal of approval. I mean, somebody who can write Jenny, that's one of the best songs. Like, it is so sad, but it is one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. If I Could Kill You, like, some of these songs, I'm just like, you are a genius. And it's awesome to be in a band with somebody where I'm just starting off on songwriting, and I can like literally I can look up to somebody directly in my circle to help me write with music. And I think we've been pushing each other to write better stuff, and to just, I don't know, something really clicked for us last year, where we were just like, we want to be more authentic, and we want to just, it's just owning who you are. Like, we are just some kids from Indiana who make emo music, and who like to have like who want to be good people and bring positive, shit into the world. And like, I think we just started really wearing that and just owning exactly who we were. And like, once we started owning that, like, I feel like you could see that kind of confidence reflect in our music a lot
Yeah.
more. And I think like just figuring out who we were as people, and what it meant leisure hour is, and we're still figuring that out. We're still figuring that out. Nobody ever wants to be boxed in. But it's been awesome, and I feel like we are slowly but sure, like, we every day we're just getting closer and closer to like really discovering what this band is about, and what we want our community to feel like. And yeah, it's really awesome. It's so cool. It's the coolest
And
thing ever.
you're putting Indiana on the map. I've interviewed like 1,000 people. I don't think I've talked to anyone from Indiana except Chris Rowe, the singer of the Ataris. It's the only person I know from Indiana that's in like a emo rock pop punk world.
Yeah, I met one of the drummers of the Ataris at a Waffle House that I was working at in Indiana, and that was pretty sick. We
Yeah.
had a lot to talk about. I was a server, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "You playing?" I'm like, "I know you."
Hometown hero. And
Yep.
is there anyone else I'm forgetting about that you grew up watching live, or maybe they didn't make it too big, but they were just fans in the local scene you looked up to?
Yeah, I mean, I used to, the second I got my first car, like, my mom was like, I had a shitty 1998 Grand Prix, the red one with the four doors. That's like classic. That's classic to
Probably
me.
worth a lot of money now if you still had it.
Yeah, no, but no, that car was I was holding that thing up by duct tape by the end of it. But my mom was like, do not take this car anywhere. Like, my godparents and my mom, they were like, do not take this car anywhere except to drive it around town
Yeah.
with your friends and stuff. The second I got a chance, I was sneaking out every weekend and driving to shows in Indy at the Hoosier Dome, and watching bands like the day after. I mean, the day after, Summer Brews, who we're about to go on tour with, literally have watched them since before I was. before I was even like understanding the concept really of like what it takes to be in a serious band.
That's so cool.
And so it is cool. It's a cool like full circle moment. But I just always grew up like my favorite group of all time is the Temptations. Like I don't
Okay.
even, I grew up listening to a bunch of other stuff, and I've just always loved music. I've always been a performer. I was a marching band nerd. Like I was in band my whole life essentially, and taking drumming lessons my entire existence as well. So like I've always loved music, but as far as being involved in the scene, yeah, it was me being a rebellious teenager, driving my shitty car to Indy every weekend and going to see these big, some bigger shows, some smaller shows. But definitely like just being like, yeah, screw you, mom. I'm gonna go catch this band, and you're not gonna know anything that I'm doing, and I'm just gonna show up and be back by the time you notice.
As a drummer, when you go to live shows, are you focused on the drumming the entire time, or are you able to like listen to everything all at once? The vocals, the guitars, the bass. What does your brain focus on?
I would say I feel like naturally most people's brains will pay attention to the vocals. And I feel like that's like, I mean, if you've heard terrible vocals, it's just not, you can't get
Yeah,
away from it. And
sure.
terrible drums too. That's why I say the vocals and the drums, they really drive the machine of a band. If those two things are not hitting, probably just need to go back to the drawing table and figure out, what's going on, because
Oh yeah.
it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not saying, but it really does take a certain level of craft and finesse, and those things like really stick out to me now that I'm writing music and I've been doing the band thing for a while. I really just like I love watching chemistry on stage. Like what does it look like? Like I love going back and watching live sets of ours and like being like, wow, we had so like we will sit there and we'll watch our old sets, and I'm just like, wow, we were having so much fun together, and it's so fun to see that my bandmates are having fun and like
Oh yeah.
having a good time. And I think like the chemistry and the way you can control a crowd, and make them, because at the end of the day, you're for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, your whole goal as a person, as a, you are setting and creating a tone for the room when you are on stage.
Yep.
So you are I call it being a vibe master. In this case, like a baddie master. Like
I
you
like
are
that.
creating,
Daddy
yeah,
Mask.
you're creating the tone and setting it. And it's like a lot of the time, if your vibe is already there, there's not really a lot of convincing you got to do to get the crowd to also be active. Like it's a symbiotic relationship. Nobody wants to like, it's hard to play a show when you're just looking at the crowd and they're just like fish floating upside down in the fish tank. Like
Yeah.
that is hard. It's hard, but at the end of the day, like I feel like that builds so much character when it comes to being in a band.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I feel like every band has to go through it. And I feel like you just got to learn how to fight through that and just be like, I'm up here to have fun. And the world sucks. Everything sucks. But for 30 minutes of
It's
my
gonna be
life
good.
today, I literally just get to play music with my best friends
Love
and
it.
music that we wrote. And that just like carries the vibe. And I think it just allows people to feel something. And like when you're doing it and you're trying to be real, like I think that shit's important. I think it's important.
It's
It's
super
like to
important.
just
I agree.
be who you are and have a good time, and people are going to vibe to that for sure.
Kevin from Scotland wants to know: has there been a point where it wasn't so fun being in a
Oh
band?
yeah, I mean, a lot of times being broke.
I was
No,
gonna say
no,
when it's time for the bills,
yeah. When it's time to pay, when you got to pay rent and you're 2 weeks deep
you
in the
can't.
door.
There's no coupons for rent, unfortunately. You
Uh,
can't Klarna your rent either.
yeah, can't Klarna the rent payments. No, but I mean, I think a lot of the time, and I think we're a diverse band. Our whole team is pretty diverse, with people of color and women and non-binary people and just all people from all different kinds of walks of life. And I think just like some of the hardest parts for me have been doesn't really have anything to do with the shows in and of itself. It's really been the out external factors of touring and being in places that maybe somebody that looks like me is not like, you're not really vibing with that,
Yeah, I
I
get
guess
it.
to say. And then, having to just essentially suck that up and be like, well, that really sucked. That sucked that I got treated a certain way because of whatever. I'm just trying to buy a goddamn Slim Jim, and
Yeah.
I have like, and it's like, or I'm just trying to exist as a person on tour with my friends, and that does suck, but it honestly just like makes me even more appreciative of the platform that we have been able to build and the amount of
Yeah.
people that do care, because it's like, yeah, those things can happen, and it is a setback and nobody should have to deal with that. But at the end of the day, I am a part, actively building, and am a part of a community that isn't that way. And that is the beauty of it. And I get to see that. Like, I literally get to see that. Maybe I got a 6 hour drive and I got to fester on that, but I do get to see that at the end of the night, by the end of the night. And
Six
another
hours is a
thing,
short drive, probably.
yeah, yes, exactly. And another thing too, that kind of, echoing off to, sometimes, like, I don't even know, we've had our van break down like 7 times, honestly.
Uh,
So that's like also a thing that has made it, at least at first, not so much fun. But I just think, like, I don't know, I feel like we just got that Midwest energy where it's like, it really, if we get knocked down, very much so, like, just work hard, and things are supposed to happen the way they are, and really just enjoying the journey, like, because it is a journey, and everyone's journey looks different. But I'm very grateful for the good, the bad, the ugly, and the highs too, because yeah, I know what it's like, unfortunately, to drive 9 hours to
oh
literally
yeah.
Wyoming and play to two people. Does that suck? Yeah, that absolutely sucks.
Part of the
But
game.
also, now I know, probably if we went back, hopefully, it might not be that way, or just like not even thinking that people from Scott, like, not in America, would care about my band and like
Oh yeah.
constantly ask um us to go overseas and like things like that. I never thought of that. And that's an experience that I know is getting so close and within arm's reach. And especially for me, I've never literally been outside of the country before. And so, like, it's just so cool to have the thing that I feel like we all have worked super hard on lead us to these experiences, that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives, good in.
Yeah. You go
And
places with the band. It's great. Free. No, well, it's not a free trip, but it's an excuse to go on a trip.
yeah, it is definitely.
Sorry, I got to take off of work for 6 weeks. See you later.
I like to get in my bag, so I try to work on tour. I like to get in my bag when I can.
That's cool. Um, so we have a couple more minutes, so we'll touch upon some important things. Talking about tour, you're heading out tomorrow. Yes, you have to go all the way to DC.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, our tomorrow's our departure.
Uh,
Friday is the show. It looks like I'm 9 times out of 10 sure that is going to sell out. So I'm
that's
very
great.
excited. It already had low tickets, and I know some people like to buy stuff at the door, which is real. That's so real. Um, in DC, when we first got the flyer, or like when we first got the shows, we really didn't know, like, what the tour was going to look like. It all just was kind of like, yeah, here's a full US tour. You want to rip this with Carly Cosgrove? We're like,
Huge.
absolutely. Yeah, we got an email. That's awesome. We didn't get just an email. We got an email, and then I saw that the first date uh, was, confirmed to be in DC, which I feel like over the past, and we got some DC fans
Yeah,
and friends
Scotty
in
goes to
here.
shows. He's
Yeah,
gonna be there.
Scotty is like literally our family. But we, over the past 3 years, I literally remember going to DC and playing to nobody. Like, I mean, like, less than three people
Wow,
in the other bands. And the last 2 times we played there, we've been able to sell it out. And the last time we were able to sell it out in headline, which was awesome. So when I saw,
that's so cool.
yeah, when I saw that we were playing there and that was the first stop, I was like, what better fucking city to set a tone for a full US tour? Like, that is arguably just as good as like playing a album release show in Indiana. That is what that literally feels like.
Hey, I get it. I went to college in DC, and I actually started the show like 50 years ago in DC. So I know all about that.
Yeah,
There's some good venues there, and so I went to some great shows back in the day.
and we got to play a tent last year for Warp Tour. And
Now you're
we
upgraded. this
Yeah,
year for Warped
we
Tour?
severely upgraded for sure. But it was so crazy. We had an insane. We were already on tour. Van breaks down. Had to leave the van in Virginia, and so we had to cancel a couple shows in the middle, and then we played a DIY festival in Ohio, Bowling Green, called Coachella, and we had to be in DC for Warped Tour the next day, and we were headlining the side stage, so we didn't get on there until like 11 p.m., and we had to be in DC
Too late for
at
any show.
crazy. Well, and it was awesome. It was one of my favorite shows that we've ever had as a band. And it was awesome to see that many people still there going hard.
Oh yeah.
And I drove us overnight. We stayed with our booking agent's parents, slept for 40 minutes,
Wow.
and then drove to DC to go play Warp. So we all ripped Warp after, I mean, especially for me, I ripped Warp with 30 minutes of halfway. I wouldn't even call it good sleep.
Yeah, in and out.
Yeah, I just closed my eyes, woke up, and it was like, all right, time to go to work tour.
I love that. That's part of the fun, like you said.
Yeah, yeah, it's part of it, and it shows like I would do that again, and that's how I know I'm doing like exactly what I'm supposed to be doing because I would totally do that again. I would do any of us would virtually do anything to make cool moments and cool opportunities like that exist.
And you're gonna do it for a long time. You have a lot of tour dates coming up.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
So before we wrap up, I just want to let everyone know that I am on every week, twice a week. Days and times will change. So give me a follow here on IG if you want. You can go back on here and watch all my old interviews I've been doing. I have like Sugar Cult on here, Hit the Lights, Less Than Jake, a bunch of cool bands. And you can jump onto YouTube, look up DJ Rossstar. You'll find my older stuff with Green Day and Fall Out Boy and All Time Lows on there with me and Pierce the Veil, Against Me, all kinds of cool interviews. But hey, I wanted to thank you and let you tell everybody where to check out all the information if they don't know
Yeah,
already where to find your tour dates and everything.
yeah, you can find our tour dates just on any of our social medias, Instagram. We've got the flyer up. We've got the ticket link in our bio, just to take you to it, as well as like, excuse me, on Spotify and any of your streaming platforms. You can see us. We're really excited to celebrate what feels like a culmination of a year's worth of like starting to find our identity, and moving forward. And oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted by some of the
I want
comments.
to know if you're going to play any festivals as well after the tour, I guess was the question.
Yeah, we're playing Pusa Fest in Montreal. Really excited about that. Jorts
Nice.
Fest in Nashville, and then we have obviously Vans Warped Tour, and we're playing Pug Fest too. So yeah, we've this honestly this year has been this will be the biggest year for us as far as festivals
Sounds
go.
pretty crazy. Are you going to have another exclusive at Pugfest you can only buy there?
Hopefully, we we actually our first Pug Fest. It was so funny. We were just a baby band, and we printed off copies of our first EP and was just giving them out for free
Oh yeah.
to all the bands, and had a little little package for them with a photo just explaining it who we were, and um, yeah, just like even those earlier days, seeing that grind is just I love it. I love our story. I love being a part of it. I love everyone that's a part of it. I think it's really cool, and I think we've really just like it's been just honestly an honor to just get to talk about music and just get to do it and be with like-minded people who really love the scene and love the community.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, it was great talking to you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And
Anytime.
I'm down here in Austin, Texas now, so you got to add that to your list hopefully in 2026.
Oh yeah, I think we are playing in Austin on this tour, so you should come through.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna look carefully. I didn't see it, but maybe I missed it. I'll look after this.
I know we're always Austin, Texas is also like how we feel about DC. Austin is right there too. Austin, like
Oh
that
yeah,
is
we got like
yeah.
250 places you can play at, probably more. So come on down.
Yeah, have you had a Diddy dog?
No, you know what? I haven't. Where's that?
It's a food truck in down like by downtown.
I'm gonna look it up right
And
now because I love food trucks, and there's like 1,000 here. I keep trying. I just had a Jamaican food truck the other day. It was incredible.
oh my God, you get oxtail.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Oh
They had the
yeah.
jerk chicken, but they did have oxtail. I'm gonna do it next time.
I love that. Yeah, no, get it. It's the best. It'll be the craziest and best hot dog. It's by Cheer Up Charlie's.
Okay, I know
Um,
what that is.
yeah, it's right across the street
Right
in
there
that
on
little.
Red River. I'm gonna go.
Yep, get and you let me know. And honestly, yeah, we're playing in Austin on 324 at the 29th Street Ballroom. You and I
That's
got to
like
get it.
that's like next week. Well, we gotta hang
Yeah,
out.
we got to get a Diddy,
We're gonna
y'all.
make this happen. All right. Thank you for hanging out. We'll talk about this after. Thank you all for watching too,
Yeah, see ya.
and we'll see
Thanks,
you all
y'all.
soon. Hey guys. Bye guys.